Hola everybody, welcome to my channel Rebelde y Strong. My name is Evelyn and I am so excited to be on this journey with you all. I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for the longest, but for one reason or another, it just never happened. Really excited that it's finally happening. I'm finally filming some things and I am excited for this journey. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting. Mwah, I love y'all. And to start off my YouTube journey, I wanted to talk about something that has changed my life and something that if it wasn't for this, I probably wouldn't even be filming this right now, and that's 75 Day Hard. So today I want to explain what 75 Day Hard is, where did it come from, what are the rules, and why I decided to start this program or this challenge, however you want to call it. But yeah, that is something that I'm really excited to talk about. So let's get to it. So, what is 75 Day Hard? 75 Day Hard is a mental toughness program and it was developed by Andy Frisella. He has a book to guide you on it and he's done a ton of interviews talking about 75 Hard, whether it's YouTube, podcasts, or whatever, you can search it up. But basically what it is, it's a mental toughness program that the way that he explains it is meant to really help people build their endurance, build their mental strength, their grit, build more confidence, and really elevate their life into a whole new level. It requires so much determination, so much commitment that you have no other option but to just suck it up and keep going. Definitely makes you really tough. That's what he developed as a way to help not only himself but other people get to that next level. So what are the rules of 75 Hard? So basically there are 5 rules that he came up with. The first one is you have to be on a diet. So it doesn't matter what kind of diet it is, but you have to choose one and stick with it. No cheat meals at all during the 75 days and no alcohol allowed either. So no drinking at all. The second rule is that you have to do 2 workouts every single day. They have to be at least 45 minutes and one of them has to be outside. It doesn't matter the weather. It doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's hot, if it's snowing, whatever it is. You have to get it done. You have to be outside. The third rule is that you have to read a nonfiction book. It has to be, something self-help, educational, something that's really going to help you in your own life. And it cannot be audiobooks, so you have to be reading. The next rule is that you have to drink 1 gallon of water. So every single day, you got to drink that water up. So, and trust me, you're going to get so thirsty that I think it's one of the easiest things for me is drinking the 1 gallon of water. And then finally, the 5th one is the progress picture. So you're supposed to be taking a progress picture every single day. And if you miss any of these 5 things, you have to start over. There is no guessing game. There is no room for little mistakes. If you don't complete the 5 tasks, then you just have to start all over. And while I love 75 Hard and I've been on this journey for a couple of weeks now, I will say that I don't really believe in the whole you have to start over or a lot of the aspects, right? I feel like it's just too tough. And I think this program and this challenge is perfect for everyone. And you can give yourself a little bit of grace and a little bit of compassion. And not everything has to be so tough in order for you to see improvements. So I'm going to tell you kind of how I modified the program, some things that I added, and some things that I'm a little bit more flexible with. My personal rules for the 75 Hard were 2 workouts a day. So I do go to the gym every single day. I have my gym routine that I'm doing and I'm also running. So those are my 2 workouts that I'm doing mainly. Sometimes I go on walks too and count that as a workout, and I'm outside. So yes, being outside has been so great. I love it. even in Houston, even in this hot heat, I still really look forward to being outside and doing something, moving my body in the outdoors, being more outdoorsy. So that's been something that's been really nice. I'm not eating any junk food. I'm not necessarily on a diet. I don't really like diets or diet culture. That's just not something that I really believe in. And I don't like worrying about my food all that much. I was vegan for over 4 years, and that was pretty restrictive, and I did it because I really believed in it. And I liked it. I enjoyed it, and it was restrictive. So I don't really like restricting my food, but my diet, or what I consider my diet, is that I haven't eaten any junk food. I haven't eaten any chips, y'all. No chips at all. I think this is the longest I've ever gone without eating any chips. That is wild. I was addicted. I was addicted to chips. Oh my gosh. But I also can't wait to like eat some chips after this. Anyways, so yeah, no, just no junk food, being mindful of like what I'm eating, trying to eat healthy for the most part, trying to make sure that I get my protein in, because that's something that's really important for me. So a ton of more fruits, a ton of more like chicken, and just good food. Kind of like what I would want my day-to-day food intake to look like. I don't like a 75-day period of like me going all out and being on this diet and restricting everything, and then after that what? For me it's like a little bit more balance, or that's what I try to do. Again, I don't like fad diets. I don't like diet culture at all. So it's kind of where I'm being a little bit more flexible, but also really mindful of what I'm putting in my body. The 1 gallon of water, again, I am drinking a gallon of water. I've been drinking a gallon of water for a couple years now because I don't really drink any sodas. I don't really drink any juices. That's just something that I incorporated into my lifestyle a long time ago. And for me, it works. I get super thirsty on a day-to-day basis, so it's super easy for me to drink a gallon of water. That's been the easy part. That's been the easy part for me. Fourth one is the nonfiction book. So I have been reading nonfiction. I love reading nonfiction. I read it all the time. I love self-help books. I've read a couple of them already, and I really love learning. So that's also not a hard part for me. Oh, progress pictures. So definitely taking that. I not necessarily progress pictures, but I take videos at the gym. So like I like to pose and just see my progress, and it's wild. I really do believe in progress pictures because you can see your progress so much, like everything that you've been working on. And sometimes I look at my videos from like when I like day 1, day 2, my first week, and I'm like, whoa, like you can totally see the difference, and it's so wild. I've been taking progress videos every day, so that's been pretty nice. I do it right after I finish the gym, so that way I know that I'm getting it done. I know that I'm doing it, and it just feels good. No alcohol. Okay, so this one is a rule that I added a little bit. So definitely not drinking alcohol. I do think there's so many harmful things with alcohol, and people really shouldn't drink that much. And I definitely know that I have gotten more mindful over the years about my alcohol consumption. I've gone years, maybe not years. I know I've done a whole year without drinking alcohol. I haven't drank anything. And I also haven't done any gardening. For all of my 420 friendly people out there, I used to enjoy that very much. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I enjoy it and I love doing it, and for me it's like a spiritual practice, and it grounds me, it keeps me de-stressed, which is probably why I've been so stressed during these past couple of weeks. It's because I haven't done any. I swear this would be much more enjoyable if I did. The reason why I decided to stop gardening is because I know my munchies. I just know that I would not be able to resist chips or candy or chocolate or all of this junk food if I had the munchies. Like I just couldn't. I know myself, and I've tried before and I just can't control it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be completely sober for this. I've been completely sober for the past couple of weeks, and it's been working really great for me. I miss it. Sometimes I crave it, and I can't wait until I can do it again. But so far it's been good. It's been fine. Mostly fine. The other one that I added is that I am posting every single day on social media. So for 75 days, I thought social media has been something that I've been wanting to dab into and do more of. So I started to get a little bit more serious with my TikTok when I decided that I was going to do 75 hard. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to add this rule every single day. I'm going to post on social media. I'm going to post on TikTok. I'm going to be present and I'm going to be showing up. And that's what I've been doing. And I actually feel super proud of myself. I hit 1,000 followers in, the first couple of weeks, which felt really amazing. And now I'm starting this whole YouTube thing. So I'm just excited for what my future in social media is going to look like. I know this is what I've been wanting, and people can say a lot of things and what they want about content creators and blah 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 blah, but I think it is a legit way for us to monetize and make money and gain exposure and collaborate with brands, share our stories, build community. There's just so much good that comes from social media, and it doesn't all have to be bad. I truly believe in the power of community. I truly believe in the power of just sharing things with people, using our voice, and knowing that there's someone out there who is willing to listen to you, to follow you, and someone out there who might get inspired with your life and the things that you're doing. So that's what I hope to do. I hope to be a positive influencer and really just redefine what that means. That's kind of my rules, what I've been doing these past couple of weeks. And honestly, it's been really nice. It's been amazing. I have never felt better, honestly. I am enjoying myself, and I am enjoying just focusing on myself, working on my goals, building my body, my physique, and getting stronger. It's just been really amazing. It's been quite a journey. So now I want to talk a little bit about why I decided to start on this journey, which, like so many things in my life, just kind of sort of happened. I am an Aries. I'm impulsive. I decide things on a whim, and that's it. Like if I'm like, oh yeah, I should do this, then I just do it. So I'm gonna tell you how this all happened. So during Barrow in Houston, we lost all of our lights, and we were so bored here at home with no internet, no nothing. We were so bored, but we did have our phones, and so we started filming a little bit of, not a lot, but just a little bit here and there. We started like recording things about, us being in the dark, or, a little dance video here and there, whatever. We just started recording a little bit, and we were like, oh my gosh, like we should really start focusing on social media again. I've done social media here and there, never too serious, but I was like, oh yeah, that's something that I want to do, right? And so my sister was like, you know what, like it's all my sister. So she was like, you know what I want to do? Like I want to do 75 hard, and that way I'll have content to post on social media, and it'll just get us started. And I was like, whoa, like you're so right. Yeah, like I think the hard part about social media is that, like, what do I talk about? What do I share? Like, it's so hard. And so sometimes you just don't know what kind of content to put out there. So I was like, wow, like if we're on this journey of 75 hard, then we can, post and content about that, about the journey itself. And that's inspiring, and you're working on yourself, and other people are following, and how great will it be once you complete it and you see all the progress that you've made from all the hard work. So that's kind of how it started. She was like, I was thinking about doing that, and then I was like, oh yeah, like we should totally do it. And then boom, I just started working on like building a plan for it, and I planned out all of my workouts at the gym, and I created a whole running program too because I knew I wanted to run. And my sister started it with me. She did like I swear to God, she did like one day. I don't know if it was one. I don't know if it was a couple of days, but I'm pretty sure it was just one day that she did. Okay, but pobrecita, she got sick. She got sick like as soon as we started, and she didn't feel good. And I was like, you know what, take care of yourself. If you don't feel like doing it, then don't. And then life got busy, and she just started school back up, and so she's just been busy, and she hasn't come back. And I haven't wanted to push her, but I knew that I wanted to do it. And besides that, right, I hadn't thought about doing 75 hard until my sister told me. But once she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I think this is exactly what I need. And that's because in June, so right at the beginning of summer, I lost my job. For those of you who don't know, I have DACA, so Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. We are more commonly known as Dreamers. So basically the way that works is that we have a 2-year work permit. We can't get deported for 2 years, and we also receive a work permit for 2 years. So every 2 years you have to renew it, and I've had DACA pretty much my entire adult life or professional life. This year I was up for renewal, and I did exactly the same thing I always do. I renewed it. It was a couple months before it expired, and I hadn't really heard much about it, but once I was renewing, I started hearing that there were a lot of delays, and a lot of people weren't getting their work permits back on time, and they were getting fired, they were losing their jobs, they didn't know what to do, they were frustrated, they were stressed. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't renew it necessarily like 6 months in advance. I never do, because it usually is pretty quickly and straightforward. It takes at the most 2 months. Like it's just a couple weeks. You submit everything, the money, your document, everything, and then they just like give you your work permit. But this year was different, and I definitely was one of the people that didn't get their work permit renewed on time. And I had been talking to HR at my job, and just telling them my situation. And literally the day that my DACA expired, they called me and they were like, you can come back on Monday. Like, this was your last day. So it happened so quickly. I was like, what? Like, I thought we were like working on it. Yeah, I knew that I had already renewed it. I had submitted my paperwork. I have been talking to y'all, but they were like, like, we don't want to get in legal trouble. We cannot keep you employed. You're going to have to turn everything in on Monday. And so that's what I did. I went to HR and I talked to them again, and they were like, there's nothing we can do. If you get it within 30 days, then we can rehire you, and you'll keep everything. But if it's after those 30 days, then we're going to have to do the whole hiring process over again, and you're going to lose all of your benefits. I had a stipend that I was supposed to get. I had a whole month of vacation that I had already earned that was supposed to be all paid. I lost that. I lost so many things. And it was, needless to say, I feel so much better about it. But during the time, I was so fucking heartbroken and frustrated and stressed, and I was just like, this is so unfair. Like, how can this happen to me? Like, how is it that I'm in this situation? And let me tell you, the past couple of years have just been like really, really hard, and it's just like, I've called my life the last couple of years a series of unfortunate events, because it's like one thing after another, after another, after another. And just when I thought like, man, I've hit rock bottom, it can't get any worse than this, boom, like something happens and it does get worse than that. And then boom, something else happens and it does get worse than that. Like, it's just, I was so tired. And so then in June, I lost my job, and I'm like, another thing, like, again, how can this keep happening to me? Like, it's just it was just so frustrating, and I was feeling so sorry for myself, and I was just like doomsday all day every day. And it was hard to process. It was hard to know that, summer had just gotten started and now I don't even have a job, so now I can't do anything fun. And I really didn't. I didn't do anything fun for summer. Whatever. That's the least of my worries. And also, just like worrying about financial stuff is just not something that I love. I don't think anyone does. I think I always say that like having financial stress is like one of the worst stressors out there, because it's so hard. It's so hard to have to worry about how you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to like do anything. So thankfully I have my parents and they've helped me so much, and my sister has helped me so much, and I'm just so grateful to have family, to have community to lean on, and that's been great. But yeah, so this whole summer I was just like not having the best time of my life, and I was like, okay, maybe I can look for contract work, and I wasn't having any luck with that either. So it was just another one of those unfortunate events that happened in my life, and I was so done. I was like, I'm fucking done with life. Like, what? Not literally done with life, but I was like, so fucking frustrated. Like, I just didn't know. But, of course, I do think and I have faith that everything happens the way that it's meant to happen. And I definitely think that losing my job is what allowed me to be where I am now. So 75 hard happened, and I hadn't been doing much. I literally would just like go to the gym and like be around, like spend time with my niece, and I was just spending time with my mom and Luffy, my dog. And yeah, so I mean it wasn't the worst thing, but I was like super stressed and like mopey and like, why does everything happen to me? Right? Like in such a victim mentality. I definitely was in a victim mentality before I started 75 hard. And it wasn't until I started 75 hard and I was like, you know what? This is something that I can do. Like, I have time right now. This is going to allow me to, like, get started with my life, stay a little bit motivated, and just find purpose again, because my life was bleh. My life was so bleh that I just needed something to look forward to and to work toward. And if you know me, you know that I love doing that. I love having goals. I love working toward them. And that's what 75 hard was for me. It was a way for me to start doing something, working towards something, having a goal, gaining momentum. It wasn't until 75 hard that I started changing my perspective, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I did lose my job. I can't really control when they're going to give me my work permit back. I can't control a lot of things in my life, but let me focus on the things that I can control. And the things that I can control were, like doing social media and, to try to gain some momentum, because at some point I do want to monetize from it. And so, yeah, so I was like, I can work toward that. I can work toward my fitness goals. I can work toward, just becoming a better version of myself. And that's really what this journey has been about me focusing on myself again and just believing, having faith, and knowing that life is life and sometimes it sucks, but it's not forever. Everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. So tough things do not last forever. Tough moments do not last forever. So here I am a couple weeks into 75 hard, and that's going to be another video about like how 75 hard has changed my life, because it's just like a complete 180. I am not the person I was when I started 75 hard. And I think it's because 75 hard really requires you to hone in on yourself. Like, what is it that you really want to do? Like, are you really committed to yourself? Are you really committed to like not giving any excuses and instead problem solving? And if you say you're going to do something, like remaining committed to that and knowing that you are worthy enough to do that. You're worthy enough to work toward your goals. You're worthy enough to put yourself first. You're worthy enough to set yourself as a priority. And I feel like a lot of times in our lives, we might think like, yeah, that's a great idea. We should put ourselves first, but we don't. How many times do we say, oh, I'm going to start working out, or I'm going to start doing this, or I'm going to start doing that. And then we start for a little bit and then we fall back because, oh, like I have to do this for someone else, or I have to go do that other thing, and I have kids, and I have, so many other different things in our lives. And I'm not saying that those aren't real commitments. We all have a lot of commitments in our lives. And if we're not taking care of ourselves, and if we're not focusing on ourselves, and if we're not prioritizing ourselves, then we are giving our energy and our time and our focus to everyone else except for us. What that creates is like this energy of feeling like stressed and burnt out, and feeling like no one sees us, no one values us, we're being overworked, and we start neglecting our own needs and our own love for whatever it is that we love to do. Like we start neglecting all of the things that make us who we are. And that's why so many people then look at their life and they're like, wow, I don't even recognize myself. Who am I outside of motherhood? Who am I outside of a relationship? Who am I outside of my profession? Who am I outside of my friendships? Who am I outside of being a daughter, a sister, whatever it is, right? Like, who am I? Like, we start losing our identity, and we start like looking at ourselves in the mirror and not recognizing ourselves anymore. So I think that's why it's so important that we keep our word. We keep our own word. And that's the wild part. It's like such a deep commitment to yourself, of knowing that just like everyone else, right? Like if we say we're going to show up and take our kids to the park, more likely than not, we're going to do that. If we say we're going to do something for work, we more likely than not, we do that. If we tell our friends that we're going to show up for something, more likely than not, we're going to do, like, we make commitments to everyone else, and we are more likely to follow through with all of those outside commitments than it is to like follow through with our own commitments. For some reason, like we feel like it's just so easy to say like, I'm going to do this, but then when it comes time to actually doing it, you're like, oh, no, I don't feel like it. I don't have time. We start making so many excuses. But what is that telling you? We don't show up for ourselves. We don't follow through on our own word. We don't follow through on our own commitments. And basically what that tells the universe is that you are not worthy. Again, you're not worthy, and you're not valuable enough to stick through the things that you said you're gonna do. So keep your word. And I think 75 Hard is such a great way to do this, a great way to set something for yourself, set a goal, say you're gonna do it, and follow through with it. Is it hard? Absolutely yes. It is so hard. There are so many times during this program that I just wanted to cry. There are times I actually did cry. Like, I've cried. I've been frustrated. I've been like, oh my gosh, this is so much. Oh my gosh, I really don't want to go on a run. I really don't want to do this. I am so tired. My body's tired. And yes, there are so many things. Like, right, it's all of our limiting beliefs. Our mind is the first one to want to quit, to want to be like, oh, never mind, I don't want to do this anymore. And actually, one of the things that I learned in one of the books that I read during the 75 Hard, I have it over there. It's Yung Pueblo. Yung Pueblo has this book called Lighter, and it's all about just like how we change and how we embrace like our new lives and become lighter on the other side. But one of the things that really stuck to me was this thing that he said, that our present reaction is based on all of our past reactions. Like, basically, the way that we react in the present has a lot more to do with the way that we've reacted in the past than our present. Our mind has learned how we've responded to different things in the past. So if in the past you have said, I'm going to start working out, and then that day comes and you're like, actually, I'm going to start next Monday. And then next Monday comes and you're like, actually, next Monday. And all of a sudden, it's been 2 years that you've been saying you're going to start doing something and you don't show up for it. So now your mind knows that when you say you're going to do that, it already knows because it's learned from all of the previous years, all of the previous times that we've done this, that actually we're not going to do this. We're just going to quit because that's just what we do, right? So like our mind is responding in the way that it's learned to respond based on our past. But our past does not define us, and our past is not our present. So in this present moment, in each present moment, you get to choose what the present moment is going to actually be like so that you can start creating the future that you actually want for yourself. So if your immediate reaction is, oh my gosh, it's Monday, I said I was going to go work out, but actually I'm like so tired. I don't want to go. I have to do this. I have to do that. Like, oh man, I'm feeling so lazy. Like, I don't want to do it. Right? That's your immediate reaction. And that's based on your past. So you can say, okay, yes, I acknowledge that my mind is really wanting to quit before I even start and doesn't want me to do this. But you know what? I'm going to intentionally and consciously decide, actually, no, today I am going to do that. Today I am going to follow through my commitments. And I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go run. I'm going to read the book. I'm going to whatever it is, that you want to do for yourself. And so that starts creating a different path. Because now your brain is going to start learning from these choices that you're making in the present, so that you can create the future that you truly want, that you intentionally create. So I think the thing about life is all about intentions, being intentional with it. And 75 Day Hard allows us to dial in with the intention. You have all these rules that you have to follow. There is no guessing game again. These are the rules that you have to stick with. Now do them. Stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself that you can't. Stop not believing in yourself. Like, do it. Believe that you can do hard things. Believe that you can get through this day and do all these things all these rules that you're supposed to do. And do that day in and day out. Day after day after day after day after day. So you're creating 75 days of rewriting the narrative in your brain, rewriting the narrative in your unconscious and your subconscious. You are rewriting your life with more intention, with more worthiness. And the thing about doing things for ourselves and following through with it is that it starts to show, because then you're going to feel more confident. You're going to be like, wow, like I'm doing this. It's been hard, and yet I've been doing this. I got through the first week. I got through the second week, the third week, the fourth week. Wow, I can do hard things. I can do hard things. So all of this to say that I definitely have benefited so much from 75 Hard. It's been one of the best choices that I've made this year. And I'm so excited to see it through. I cannot wait to be on the other side and say, I've done 75 Hard. I've done it. So now what else can I do, right? What's the next big mountain that I have to climb? Knowing that I've already done 75 days of something that's so hard. The thing about building that mental strength and stamina and grit is that then you can apply it to all other areas of your life. It's not only fitness, it's not only focusing on these 5 things like the program says, but then you apply that to the rest of your life. And then you say, you know what, if I can do that, I can do something else too. If I was able to get through those 75 days, I wonder what else I can get through too. Things that I feared, things that I doubted, things that I felt like no way in hell was I ever going to do that. Because so much of our life is led by those limiting beliefs and by the things and the stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves. And sometimes we don't even realize what that story is. What is the narrative in our mind? What is the narrative that our mind is telling us? We don't realize it until we sit down and reflect. And we're like, wow, yes, I do have a pattern. Wow, yeah, like that has been the story that I've been telling myself. And most of those stories are not real, are not true. So start creating the life that you want. Consciously, intentionally, every single day, every single hour, every single second, every single breath. That's how we get to the life that we want to live. Is by being present in this moment, right here, right now, and deciding how we want this present moment to look like. That's it. We don't live in the past. You know, the past is the past. It's gone. There's nothing we can change. And we don't live in the future because it's not here yet. We don't know what the future holds. We can't control that. We can't control the past. It's already gone. We can't control the future. It's not here yet. We can control the present. The only thing we can control is our present. So, let's just make more intentional choices. I am so excited to share a lot more of my life and my journey. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I wasn't yapping too much. But I'm really excited to, again, get better at this and create more content and just share my own story in different ways. So follow me on TikTok, on Instagram. My handle is the same, Rebelde Strong. Subscribe to my channel. Support, comment below what you thought was the most inspiring thing about this video, or what did you learn about it. Hopefully something. Hopefully you walked away with even just a little bit of nugget of insights. Comment down below what that was. And I will see you next time. Bye.